James Dutton for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined on the Zoom with Linus Udofia. Linus, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Very good, thank you, mate. Very good. Thanks for joining me today. As mentioned just a moment ago off recording, I'm going to go into the start of your boxing career, let's say. So tell us how you got into boxing and why you started boxing.
I got into it when I was about 17 years old. A good mate of mine, Grant Walpole, was like running. Like we used to play football together, and he started running little boxing classes in Dunstable. And he was like, "Yeah, you should come down. It'll be fun to, just give it a go." So I started doing it, started messing around with it, and he then said to me, if I wanted to compete, I should go down to Hocker Ring Boxing Club in Luton. So I went down and never really looked back from there. And I never really looked back. I just kind of tried it out, really enjoyed the training, and then when about 3 months into training at that club, they said, we think you can compete, so we got you a fight. And yeah, next thing you know, I'm fighting and winning, and it just all happened like almost at a click of a finger.
So within 3 months, they said, right, you're ready to go in the ring. For yourself, at what moment did you feel you was ready?
I never ever felt I was ready. When the fight actually came, I never. When they told me, I was surprised. I was like, "Oh my god, like, am I?" And next thing you know, like it just came. So I never felt I was, but I always thought, yeah, I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna give it a go and see what happens. And it turned out really well for me. And I don't know. I kind of just had tunnel vision from then on.
And when was it that you decided to turn professional, and why did you make that decision?
Pardon me. I was about 20, 21. I was about 21, and then I was in the amateurs, and I was fighting, ABAs, Box Cup, and things like that. And the ABAs weren't. I got to the home counties final, was unsuccessful. I personally, controversially, but it doesn't really matter now. And then I got to the Box Cup, and it was the same thing. It was the same thing, and I just kind of said to myself, I don't really want to do another year in this. I don't really want to do another year being an amateur, really. And it was either two options. It was either just leave the sport completely or go professional. And my coach at the time, I'd gone to Terry Stewart to do some extra training because Kay Prosper was a pro at that gym, so I used to go down with him. And I'd gone to do some extra training with him, and he turned around and he said to me, "Oh, I can get you signed up by Steve Goodwin if you wanted," and he wanted to turn pro. And I never considered turning pro until he said that to me. So I thought about it. I took maybe like a month off, and then considered it and turned professional. And that was it. I didn't even. I don't know. The thought process wasn't, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do." It's like almost like I never thought about turning professional until he said it to me right then and there. I never thought about it. I never considered it. I never thought it was like a possibility. I never thought that was where I was headed. I just kind of was fighting. And then next thing you know, he said it. And then I thought, okay. And then, just did it.
So was that at that point, was that down Club KO where you are now?
Yeah, it was Club KO. Like I said, I was boxing Hocker Ring, and I've never really boxed for anyone else, and never boxed for anyone else. And I was boxing for Hocker Ring, and then I went down. I started going down with Kay Prosper to Club KO just to get better and have new things. And I kind of hit my cap at Hocker Ring, so I kind of needed a little bit more to get better. So I did. So I went down there, and then kind of Terry just kind of became my coach over the months.
Now, talking to Kay Prosper, both of you now have picked up your titles, professional titles. How proud does it make you looking back now over the years to know that you're both sort of at the level now and you're still progressing?
Yeah, incredibly proud. I sometimes forget that I've got it. Sometimes I forget that I've done this and I've won that, and do you know what I mean? I forget I've had these fights, and I'm mixing a lot amongst these. The likes of Felix Cash, names are getting thrown in there. You know what I mean? Like I'm there now, really. Like I'm on the peripheral. So sometimes I forget. I've done that. And you know, it's just nice to look back and think, oh, you know what, you've actually done that. You smashed it. So well done, man. And yeah, I feel incredibly proud every time I think about it. And you know, what I mean, it's a big achievement, and only a handful of names can say they've actually won that. So I'm incredibly proud, and proud of Kay as well.
Talk about Steve Goodwin. You mentioned that you turned pro with him. He's been good to you. He's, you know, very highly regarded on the small horse scene. Just tell us what he's done for you in your career.
You know, like everything I've asked for, he's delivered. You know, he's delivered in one way or the other. Everything I've asked for, he's done his job. He's done his job perfectly. He got me signed up with David Haye. He got me Southern Area title shot. You know, things fell through with that, understandably, but you know, he got me those shots. He got me in position. Everything I asked for, he got me. So, do you know what I mean? I asked for a Southern Area shot in the first 3 years of my career. He got it. It didn't work out, but he got it. Then he did even better, and he got me the English. Do you know what I mean? And he got it on our terms and things like that. You know what I mean? That's where he's a really good manager. He made things happen. Everything I asked for, he got. So I can't complain. He's done an excellent job.
You mentioned there about this 7 area falling through. There's been some frustrations. I know a lot of it was you was meant to be fighting Taylor Jones.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your frustrations at the time of your career.
At the time, I never really experienced anything like that before. I never experienced any. Like, I had pullouts. Don't get me wrong, I had pullouts all the time. I had fighters pull out. I had this and that. You know, oh, you're meant to be fighting this person. You have a look and you're like, oh, okay, like that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this person. It's nothing. This and that. And then all of a sudden, like, they pull out, and you're like, okay, like yeah, it happens. But when I just thought it wouldn't happen at that level. I just didn't think it would happen at that level. And when it happened, I was so focused at the time on Haylen Jones, and I was so focused on having that fight and that accolade and things like that. And there were so many things spiraled from that pulling out. So it kind of affected me. Yeah, it quite affected me quite not dramatically, but it affected me quite a lot because I didn't really think it would. I was just like, oh, you know, like. I didn't think it would. I didn't think it would. It was just, I just thought it was, yeah, it was nothing. It was just like, oh yeah, you know, I never thought anything would go wrong, if that made sense. Training was great, doing fine. You know, his training on paper was great. This and that, everything was good. It was just a collision course. Everything was right. Everything was just right. It was a good fight as well on paper. And I prepared for everything, but the fight not happening. That's the only thing I didn't prepare for. I never prepared for it to not happen. So when that became a reality, it kind of affected me mentally when I went to have the actual fight that was replacing him, but it wasn't for the Southern Area. It was just a 10-rounder against another undefeated guy. And I thought, okay, yeah, this is cool. And, you know, I'll deal with it. I'll get on with it. But it affected me mentally. I was very, you know, I lost a lot of, like, not motivation, but I lost a lot of the drive. Like, I lost a lot of, like, you know, I still trained as hard as I could. I still put in 100% in the gym. I just lost, like, when I was going into it like, oh, like, okay, this isn't for the Southern Area. Like, you know what I mean? And it kind of beat me down a little bit. And then when it happened the second time, I kind of just realized, you know what? Actually, this is what comes with the sport sometimes, and it happens, and you just kind of got to accept it. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it's obviously what spiraled on from that is you're in the gym and you're watching Sean Robinson go for, like, his Southern Area. You know, so straightforward, no problems, do it, and he's done. He's won it. You see Brad Paul's going for his Southern Area. He's done. You know what I mean? Just you're sitting there and you're watching everyone do what you're not able to do. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, and it gets to you a little bit. You know what I mean? You're sitting there and you're like, why can't mine go so smoothly like everyone else's? You know? And yeah, that's just what happens. That's just how it is. And you know, I kind of trusted the process, trusted Goodwin, trusted all their management, trusted my coaches and trainers, and just kind of kept my head down and kind of just did my own thing. And then, you know, I got the reward in the end. So, you know, it was a good process. It was a hard lesson, but you know, it was a good process. So.
At that level, at small hall and Southern Area level, did it affect you financially as well with the pullouts?
Yeah, you know, like, you know, I've got great sponsors that, you know, I had great sponsors at the time that you know, made sure I was very comfortable. So on that side, not too much, but on the financial side of, you know, the fight needs to be paid for, this needs to happen. Tickets were sold for that fight. So when I say that, I mean, like, a lot of tickets, like, I had over 300 tickets sold for that Taylor and Jones fight, easy. And I was still on track for another, like, 200 by, like, in 2 weeks out. And when that pulled out, a lot of people from that 300 alone, about 150 people just pulled out because they were like, oh, it's just another fight. Like, I thought it was going to be for the title. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. We'll go to, you know what I mean? And yeah, you feel it. It is what it is, understandably as well for them. And yeah, it was just, yeah, financially, yeah, it took a little bit of a hit, you know, and yeah, it just wasn't, you know, all of it has a chain reaction with everything, you know. It wasn't fun, and it was financially, yeah, it did take a bit of a hit.
Also, going back, you mentioned Steve Goodwin helped you out and got you linked up with David Haye and Hayemaker.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. What's their role? So are they management, promoter? What's their role with you?
Their role with me is just promotion, you know. The Hayemaker Boxing, if they're, like, let's say, basically their role was whatever show that they were promoting, let's say, or the Matchroom, the Chizoras, you know, whatever big cards that they were co-promoting or promoting, I'd have a slot there. They were responsible for putting me on a bigger stage, which they did. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was their role, and Goodwin was the one that orchestrated the whole get together and meet and you know, get signed up. So, you know, I mean, a big shout out to Goodwin for that. And yeah, and you know, with the Hayemaker role, that's what they did. You know, or Dillian White, Chisora 2, I was on that, and obviously I wasn't on Chisora Spilka, as I was fighting for the English at your call anyway, and that Spilka fight got put together after. So I couldn't get on that. But yeah, their role is to put me on the biggest stage.
So would you have been on the Usyk Chisora card?
I believe so.
Okay. So with those guys, and obviously putting you on the bigger platform, like you say, these bigger shows, the arena shows, how much does that do for your profile at a small hall level? Is it the bridging the gap there to the, you know, your British title level and getting a permanent fixture on these big shows?
Yeah, 100%. When you're on a big show like that, you got to realize, like, not the whole world, but a lot of eyes are watching compared to small hall. A lot of eyes are watching. Like, just fighting alone on when I first fought on his cards, and I got the little TV slots or the Facebook live slots. My profile rose massively. Fought on the Matchroom one, the Chisora 2, Facebook Live. My profile rose again massively, and it just, you know what I mean, it made me. Do you know what I mean? It made me shoot up massively. And I was just like, and that's exactly what his job was, to promote me and give me a bigger profile. And, you know what I mean, that happened. And, you know, to be in a small hall scene and doing that, you know, you see your tickets affected, you see your social media profiles, your actual profile in general rise, and everyone starts to talk about you, and your ranking becomes better, you know, and things like that. And you know what I mean, you see all that, and it made a massive difference to my profile being on those big stages.
So let's touch on the small hall shows. I'm a big fan of small hall shows. You get fantastic fights, especially the Southern area fights. English title fights are always good 50-50 clashes,
Yeah.
especially with Steve Goodwin shows as well. They're always well matched. Do you
Mm.
feel they deserve more exposure?
Yeah, 100%. I've always said this. I've always questioned as well. Why they never had. But then, you know, I had a long conversation with Steve, and we spoke about the logistics of, you know, fighting, and, you know, getting TV companies and things like that. And he said, look, that we have an abundance of TV companies and shows that want to do this, I want to do that, but the deals that they're offering just aren't viable, aren't really beneficial to anybody but them. So it doesn't make sense to take something like that right now. The logistics of it is just, it doesn't make sense right now. So we're just waiting for the right deal. And I understand that, and that's fair enough. And that is just how it is. And I feel like, you know, there's so many English title fights, not even British title fights, English title fights, Southern area title fights, and just 50-50, 10 rounders that deserve to be on TV or deserve to be free to air or for the public to see and recollect on that just aren't. And it's not really anyone's fault. It's just, these things deserve to be on TV. These fights deserve to be on TV. Like I was, what fight was I watching? I cannot remember. Like, like Brad Paul's against Diego Burton for the English title eliminator or Southern Area title eliminator, like last year or the year before. That deserved to be on TV. That was an absolutely great fight. That was unreal. That was an unreal fight. Sean Robinson versus John Brennan. That deserved to be on TV. Yusuf Kamari versus Liam Dillon. That deserved to be on TV. There were so many. I can name you so many domestic, like small hall fights that deserve to be on TV. And it was just, it's just one of those where kind of, you're waiting for the small hall to kind of, when it kind of gets to somewhat of a platform that is enough to give the public access, that's when small hall becomes not small hall anymore. Do you know? Yeah, that's when everything kind of changes. But I'm not sure what the crack is. I don't know what they're doing with all this. You know what? With all this quarantine and COVID-19 situation going on, maybe there can be an itinerary for, like, someone can make something for that. They can stream something on a subscription basis. Who knows? Like, there's got to be something out there. I think it's all a matter of time, really.
Do you think it will ever happen? Do you think we'll see televised or streamed small hall shows?
I think streamed small hall shows was a factor, but I think it was counterintuitive because when that didn't happen, they streamed it on YouTube, and which is fine. But what you found was people didn't show up to the fights. Fighters couldn't sell tickets. When they can't sell tickets, they can't get paid, and the actual product, the whole small hall scene is on the back of tickets being sold. The foundation of it is on the back of tickets being sold. So if that's not happening, that it can't happen. So they found that if you're giving it free to air, people just aren't going to pay 40 quid to come and do it when they can just watch it free to air. So I think that was counterintuitive, and that rapidly stopped, as you can see. And I think it will. I just think there needs to be another platform that can do it. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you which platform, but there's got to be something. But I'm sure. I think this is a time where people can be really inventive, and who knows what can happen.
Just very quickly, want to take it away from yourself, back onto your promoter, David Haye. Recently came out and said he'd come out of retirement to fight the winner of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. What do you make of that? Do you think it's a good move? Apart from financially?
Pardon?
Apart from financially?
Financially, he's a fantastic move. You know what I mean? He makes arguably more money than he's ever made doing that. But safety wise, his body has shown signs of fatigue, signs of aging, and it's one of those things where you might get paid, you might do well, but if you're going to be physically in a different way after this, is it really worth it? But it's one of those things. Obviously, it's one of those. It's one of those. Like, I support him, and I hope he gets everything he wants. But I don't know. I always feel a bit funny about people that are older coming out of retirement to fight like someone quite younger on top right now. I always kind of think of the safety side of it. So, I don't know. I think it'll be good to see, David Haye versus Tyson Fury, David Haye versus Anthony Joshua. It sounds good, but I don't think that's something we'll see.
If it was to happen, would you give David more than a puncher's chance?
In the first few rounds, I'd give him more than a puncher's chance. It's it's a fight. They're heavyweights. They're big boys. I'll give him more than a puncher's chance.
And finally, Linus, before I let you go, just want to talk about future. What are your ambitions, goals when boxing does resume?
when boxing resumes, I think we just start off where we left off. I was only about 5 days away from defending my English title. So when all this got locked down and everything just got shut off, so ideally go from there, defend my title again, move on, and head for either the British or Commonwealth, whatever comes first, whatever opportunities we get, and we kind of just move forward, and we keep testing ourselves, and we keep pushing on. Really, do you know what I mean? We're in deep pond now, and we're on title level. We're on the radar. We've won the English title. We're champion of England. We're in the top 10 now. Do you know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time until you're facing the big boys. You're fighting for Southern area. I mean, you're fighting for British titles, Commonwealth titles, European titles, WBC, anything. Like you know what I mean? You're in that. You're like, I remember Steve said to me, when you're up here now, you can't go down. So I can't be here and then go for a fight for a Southern area. It doesn't work like that. Now it's only up. So we're here now. So let's get going. Really.
Absolutely. And very, very finally, just a few words from yourself of motivation for anyone who may be struggling in quarantine and lockdown.
Like you hear a lot like we're all in the same boat, but we're not. When we're not all in the same boat, your boat is completely different to mine. We're all in the same ocean. We just, I think what's important right now is focusing towards the end of this. Nothing's gonna last forever. This is gonna end. I think sticking to the guidelines, following what the government are telling us, staying active, staying inside, staying connected with your families, whether they are in front of you or they're across the country. Just make an effort with everyone. Stay focused, look at the bigger picture, and just stay positive and stay active, because this will be over soon.
Linus Udofia, thank you for your time speaking to pro boxing fans.
Thank you very much, James.